Hi and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to adjust some valves on a core motor. This is a Chevrolet 350. First thing I do when I get ready to adjust valves is open my Chilton's manual and see what my cylinder arrangement is. On the small block Chevy, the odd numbers pistons are on the driver's side. The even number pistons are on the passenger side. Not all V8s are laid out the same. Some have odd and even numbers on both banks. So on this side we've got 1, 3, 5, 7, and the other we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. The next thing I'm going to do is open my Chilton's manual and I'm going to look up my firing order. 18436572. Then I'm going to stack my firing order. Same chronological number, 18436572, but this is going to give us our companion cylinders when we begin adjusting valves. Okay, so we've got 5 and 8 are companion cylinders. Okay, turn her some more. Alright, it looks like 4 and 7 are companions. And it looks like 2 and 3 are companion cylinders. And it looks like 6 and 1. Okay, so that means that we've got 4 pairs of companion cylinders. That was all of them, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a motor over slow so we can watch the... And in each bank you'll see we've got a companion cylinder.
Okay, keep her going. Okay, there's our exhaust, there's intake. Okay, so back up. Rock them back and forth. There we go. That's valve overload. Get them as even as you can. Okay, see both valves are open on number 6 cylinder, which means we are ready to
Number 1's the top dead.
adjust the valves on number 1. We've already looked at companion cylinders. We'll go ahead and put the heads back on this engine, and when we come back we'll adjust some valves. back. We've got the heads installed, intake manifold. One thing that this process is really good for, let's say that we've just built a new engine for a customer that lives remote. In 5 hours this engine has to be on a plane headed for Kotzebue, Alaska. The customer is very good at installing his own engines, but he doesn't know how to adjust his own valves. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and have a turnkey crate engine, so all he has to do is drop it in and ready to go. So you can see that I've installed my push rods and rocker arms for number 1 cylinder. Now I'm going to go back to my cheats board, and I see that the companion cylinder for number 1 is number 6. So that's one we're going to look for first. Okay, so here on the passenger side of the engine we've got even numbers, so we've got cylinder 2, cylinder 4, cylinder 6. So I'm going to put in a push rod for exhaust and intake on cylinder number 6. Okay. We're going to rotate the engine clockwise. Okay. It looks like that was intake. So we're firing, that piston's firing now. And there's our exhaust. And I probably should put a little pressure on those. And you want to get those just as even as you can. Okay. Now we're ready to adjust valves on cylinder number 1. And the way the book says to do these is the way I always do them. Down to 0 lash and then 3/4 of a turn, which doing them cold is probably going to be a little bit loose, but that's going to leave us a little bit of room for expansion. And whenever I've gone back and run them with a running engine, I've been dead on. So if this engine had solid lifters, I wouldn't even get out my feeler gauges. I'd set up my dial indicator and I'd dial them in perfect. Now again, the scenario that this engine is going to go to a customer in a remote area, if my exhaust was 13 and my intake was 10, I'd add 2 thousandths for each one of those. So I'd have 15 and 10 thousandths to make up for expansion of the metal. So we're going to go ahead and adjust. Like I say, 0 lash is what we're looking for, and then 3/4 of a round. This engine hasn't run for a long time, so it's a little... Okay, so 0 lash and 3/4 of a round. Now the neat thing about using this system is I can adjust both valves on the same cylinder, and we're done with this cylinder. And again, we're going to go to 0 lash. And then 3/4 of a round. Okay, there's 0 lash. Double check. Okay. 0 lash and 3/4 of a round. Okay, that one's done. Now our next cylinder to fire is number 8, which is on the passenger side. We've got spark plug number 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to take my push tubes. Now the companion cylinder for 8 is 5. So we got to go back over to the other side. Okay, cylinder 1, cylinder 3, cylinder 5. I'm going to install my push tubes in number 5. And all we're using the push tubes for is our reference on valve overlap. Now, since we've done number 8, we shouldn't have to turn the crankshaft very far. There, see, we're already on valve overlap. So number 8 is on. It's ready to fire. Okay. Well, I remember how frustrating this was for me to learn. You know, the first time I couldn't, I worked a long time to try and okay. So our next cylinder to fire is number 4, which means we'll be looking for valve overlap on cylinder number 7. So we go back to the other side and we're going to install our push tubes. Okay. All right. There we go. And see, I just moved the engine probably 30 degrees, and we are ready to adjust number 4. Okay, our next cylinder that we're going to look for, number 3 is going to fire, so we're looking for, let's see, 184. 184. Okay, so 2 is going to fire. Yeah, this is 2. Okay. See, I'm getting confused. That's why I have a board. Right. Number 3 is going to fire. So number 2 is going to be on valve overlap. I got confused there for a minute. Okay. All right, let's look for yeah, okay. That is valve overlap, so we are ready to
Load number 3.
load number 3. Okay, now, so if you were in a shop and all the rockers were still on the engine, most guys what they do is they'll take a little paint from a paint pencil and they'll mark each rocker as they go along. Now this time we're going to be on the bottom row and we're going to look for overlap on number 1. And there it is, you can clearly see it. That means we're ready to adjust the valves on number 6. Got a good looking Peterbilt in the background. Obviously, if I was going to use this engine in a vehicle, I'd take just a little more time and setting up my valves, but this, even as that is, this engine would run. Okay, so number 6 is done. We just did number 6, so the next one to fire is number 5, which means we'll be looking for valve overlap on number 8. And as I say, if I'm following my order correctly, I shouldn't have to turn the engine very far. And there it is. That was number 8, so we're looking for piston number 5. Okay. right. That's number 5.
Number 7. And we want 2 on overlap, or 4 on overlap.
4.
Yeah.
Okay. There it is. Okay, so number 4 is on overlap. We're going to put number 7 in.
And here's the inspectors inspecting the job. Make sure TJ's doing it right.
It's hard work being a movie star.
She's got you. She's making sure you're doing it right.
I'm trying. Go back home, we used to have shop cats, but this is a little different. I know, yeah, it's... All right. So we're going to do the valves on 2. Oh, they'll make the video.
Are you going to get up there and tell them about it? Huh? Are you? Okay.
After you've done these a few times, you get to where you can knock one out in about 20 minutes. And your valves will be perfect. Okay. And if any of you guys have got old core motors laying around, those are a good place to practice this technique. Okay, we're done. Let's roll the motor. Oops. Let's show them the timing chain trick on. Okay, something I thought I'd show is kind of a bonus here. As we know, we've got valve overlap on number 6, which is a companion for number 1. So technically on this engine, you can use number 6 spark plug hole to time your engine. Just something to keep in mind. But if I get my number 6 or number 1, lost it now. Okay, there's valve overlap on number 6. Okay. You see how close I am to 0 here on the timing mark. Now if I roll up on valve overlap on number 1 or number 6 and my timing mark is out here or out here, then we've jumped on our timing chain. And so if you've got an engine that won't start, it's got fuel, got air, got gas, and it won't start, that's a way to check your timing chain to see if you're on time. And so again, we'll use number 1 this time. Okay. There's valve overlap. I'm going to get those two just as even as I can. And there's my timing mark. So that tells me my timing chain is good. Well, there it is. Maybe some of you hot rod guys out there may have some improvements on this system or something even better. I'd love to hear from you. Comments are always welcome in the comments section below. And any constructive criticism or ideas, always welcome to those. And thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.